I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite
podcast
on the Citadel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Accidentally Casual, a podcast where needing is one thing and getting is another. My name is Tucker from Talking About Games, and with me is my co-host, Scott from BioWare Babbling.
Sup, nerds?
And unfortunately, we don't have Seeker with us, the community manager, over on our Discord, which there is a link to in the description down below. She is doing adult things like having a job in the morning and sleeping because she decided to live in the UK while, so it's nighttime there.
Yeah, so she wasn't able to make it today. Just a little, also another disclaimer. As of at least the time of recording, Dragon Age D4 Day, so Dragon Age 4 Day, was yesterday. I was thinking about talking about it, but I didn't think it would be quite fair without talking about it with Seeker. So, for anyone here who's hoping that we'll talk about some Dragon Age 4 stuff, that's not going to be happening until a later date. But we have plenty of other topics to talking to you about, right, Tucker?
Sure. Something I was thinking of. You and Seeker talked about N7 Day together, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was not there with that podcast, but I was honestly disappointed with N7 Day. Something that I would have liked was, it was a year after the Mass Effect Trilogy remastering. So I would have loved a video coming out that was an introspective about it, of BioWare talking about it doesn't have to be a full documentary, but even if it was a half-hour long video of how the company has grown and the reaction to the remaster in the year that it's been out.
Yeah.
Or just it really just felt like nothing. And there isn't an obligation, but
it would be nice if they did that. Yeah.
It honestly is just it just came and went by. And 7 Day is my dog's birthday, I have decided.
Oh.
So, just because, I got him originally around November, the person is the prior owner. I'm his, fifth owner.
Really?
And there's also, oh yeah, and he's also been at the Pound at one point, because I know this because he has a tattoo. And Pounds will tattoo dogs when they spay or neuter them because they don't have the records as much.
Okay, that's interesting.
And for cats, they snip a little bit of the ear.
Oh, yeah, okay, I've heard about that, yeah.
But, he's had multiple owners and all that stuff, so he's 14... Or no, he's 15 or 16 now? I think 16, maybe 15.
Doofer is good pupper.
He is. But, and I've had him since he was 8 or 7 ish.
5 owners, 8 years. Jeez. Yikes.
Yeah. He's a good boy. And I got a cat partway through that.
Mm-hmm.
And the kitten, when I got her, she was 2 months old. Doofer immediately adopted her. He would sit with her when she was eating. He would hold her down and lick her, clean her and stuff like that. Being a parent, he would sleep with her every time she was walking around. He would just kind of see what's up. And now it's been a few years. They are just all together all the time.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it.
Oh.
I love it.
I still need to meet Doofer and your cats one of these days.
I thought I brought Doofer down when you and your girlfriend were here.
No, I don't.
Did I not?
No, you weren't walking Doofer. It was just you.
Oh, what a missed opportunity. Fun fact, while I was meeting you at the market, at Pike's Market around there,
Yeah.
for shits and giggles, I was getting my groceries around there, but for shits and giggles, I decided to apply to some of the shops there. That's actually when I got the job at the bakery.
What?
Yeah. But just for shits and giggles, I was there. I saw they were hiring, and I'm like, I walked up, and my coworker now, but at the time she was just like, just asked her, "Hey, are you guys hiring?" She went, "Yeah, the manager's right here. You want to talk with him?" Like, sure. So manager comes out. He's looking at me. He's like, "Why do you want this job?" Like, "Well, I need to buy new shoes, and I like to be able to afford rent." And he's just like, "Okay, can you come in tomorrow to train?" Like, sure. All right. And that was it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I came in, did a day of training. He was like, "All right, what are your thoughts?" I'm like, "All right, this is kind of fun. This is awesome."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "All right, come back in on Monday." Came in, worked the week, and he's like, "All right, let's do this." And now I've been there for like 6 or 7 months. I'm actually now picking up shifts at the proper bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is just the little stall at Pike's Market that we just sell the baked goods out of, as well as make sandwiches and other kind of line chef things. But picking up shifts at the actual bakery, learning like how to make the lemon bars and danishes and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be fun.
Nice, very nice. God, now you're making me hungry. God damn it, bud. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely plan on hopefully visiting you again once I'm making another trip over to Seattle for sure. But as much as I would love to make fans of our show like hungry as hell talking about food, we do have video games.
If they're hungry.
Oh,
if they are hungry, we have a food channel on our Discord, which link to that in the description down below.
That was not the transition I thought you were going.
No. Which sometimes I like look through that channel, and I love people just like posting their food or stuff like that, or something that they're eating, and then
some of y'all in the Discord just make some exquisite stuff, and it definitely makes me envious of you, and
yeah, I will look at some of that stuff, and in the meantime, I am eating like Triscuits with salami and cheese, and I'm just like, yeah, this will work. This is food. This counts.
And then you're just looking.
I'll like eat a few like handfuls of carrots. And be like, I got vegetables. I have meat. There's like, if I eat the parts of it, it adds up, right?
Yeah, close enough, right?
I mean,
okay, but we do have a few topics that we wanted to talk about. The big one that we had talked about before the show was Halo Infinite, and this, I guess the best way we can probably describe this episode is this is going to be what we're going to call like the disappointment episode, and the big one that's on the top of our head is Halo Infinite.
Damn, you're going for the prime rib. I thought we were maybe going to go for the appetizer, talk about the McClucken in San Andreas remaster over at the disappointment that was the GTA trilogy.
I mean, we can like tease it a little bit. We can tease it a little bit. Sure, why not? Okay, I'll bite.
Okay, it's like they're walking by with the sizzling plate, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah. Okay, I'll bite. Yeah, no. I did. So I don't know too much about the remasters and what, like, the specifics of it. What I do know is that they're really half-baked, my understanding, half-baked remasters, and it is being review-bombed to all hell and back again. That's kind of what I've been hearing. It's just, like, they're getting, like, 0.5 on Metacritic or something like that. Like, no one quote me on it, but, like, it's bad.
I did play the original San Andreas, but I was too young at the time to really focus on the details of the game and kind of, like, all the minute stuff in the story and all of that. But, so going back and playing the remaster and going through the story this way is an enjoyment. Like, it is still fun. The mechanics are all there. Exercising and making your CJ get fat, and exercising and walking around, getting other people in your gang.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all that stuff is fun. It's pretty cool. But like, when you're riding the bike, your arm is like broken in 7 different ways. The characters look almost straight like me characters on a fucking Wii. Like,
Jesus.
they apparently, this was done by a mobile game studio that used a big majority of the development using AI to upres and like do a lot of that stuff. And because of that, some of the jokes are, which this is like a small complaint, but it does kind of show some of the issue. That the AI would spell some things correctly that were purposefully misspelled, or it would be a bit too grainy, so it would change the word around and it would miss the joke itself. There are things like that. There are a lot of bugs in the game itself.
Yeah.
I think there's just, it's
not just like one game in particular that's really buggy and the rest are okay. This seems to be the entire collection is just filled with bugs.
Yeah, well, I haven't played 3 or Vice City. I only played San Andreas because it was on Game Pass, which, Game Pass, awesome.
Game Pass, please sponsor us, for the love of God.
I mean, the fact, like, I'm disappointed with San Andreas, but I didn't spend money specifically on San Andreas, and because I would be more disappointed with that. Like, Game Pass, awesome. But I've seen bugs of helicopters or like vehicles just falling through ground. Like, they're trying to land on a checkpoint or for a place in the mission and they just go through the ground. Or, there was one picture I saw. Someone went by an island or something, like they were on a boat, they were just out free roaming, and they went by an island, and the rock wasn't textured with the rock material. It was textured with someone's face. So it was just like this big stretched face in multiple spots all around this rock. And just like a bunch of things like that like it adds up. It really adds up, and it just feels such like a kick in the balls for something as iconic to the history of the gaming just of games that the GTA games are, that San Andreas, Vice City, and 3 are still regarded as some of the best in the series. A remaster like this, like, if they could have just remastered San Andreas or maybe GTA 3. I'm not sure how Vice City stands between those 3, but there's the 2 I am more familiar with. But if they even just did one of the remasters and focused with that would have been better than this. This was just awful.
Yeah.
It was bad. This is a lot like MCC, which Microsoft had that out to another company. And they completely borked it up to the point Microsoft, like, shut them down, I think.
Well, the one thing I will say on the rock thing, like, they put they textured it with someone's face. The fact they didn't use Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's face shows how much they fucked up. Like, they had a golden opportunity right then and there, and they didn't take it. So, yeah. But, like,
I do like that.
But, yeah, the fact that it's the whole collection for pretty much one of the most beloved franchises out there, and also probably one of the biggest if you're talking about in a monetary sense.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can tell they did not put in the effort. Like, MCC, you can make the argument at least...
Like, with Halo 2's anniversary,
yeah.
as well as putting all 4 of the multiplayer maps...
yeah. Well, the fact that...
Or all 4-game multiplayer map, like, 100-plus maps in one game. And
yeah. Like, the ambition was there, but they definitely didn't have the resolve and commitment to, like, get it. But, like, they realized, like, you know what? No, this is going to be worth it. We're going to put in the time. We're going to put in the money for it. And, you know, and now the Master Chief Collection, really, when it comes to remasters, is pretty much... I wouldn't say it's the gold standard of remasters by all means, but it's definitely now a pretty high standard, and a standard that is a lot of remasters do get compared to a lot. But San Andreas, this doesn't even look, this, like, the terms of, oh, this was just a cash grab, that gets used a lot in in the gaming scene. But, man, that's what this really feels like. This just feels like a really easy cash grab. That was just cool. Give it to some, mobile developer who generally does most of their stuff through automation and AI. You know, get these out quickly within a year, and then boom.
Grove Street Games was the company.
Well, and it's like, you compare that to also, like, the Legendary Edition for Mass Effect, and it's like, it's not... I mean, the Legendary Edition definitely has some good, like, quality of life insurances.
Well, Mass Effect 1...
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, but
feels
it's like...
great.
Yeah, but it's like, of all the... It's not that extensive of a remaster. But fans knew that going in. Like, BioWare made it exceptionally clear that, like, okay, y'all, this is what you're getting. Like, it's not... Don't expect, like, a remake level. This is...
It exceeded expectations, because its expectations were realistic.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was the biggest problem...
Because they advertised it. Like, the remaster for the trilogy for GTA, they didn't show gameplay or anything.
Yeah. I was about to say,
like,
I don't think I saw any advertising for it at all. And maybe, like, you might be a little bit more, have a better nose to the ground towards that sort of things, but I didn't see any advertisements or any...
There was the announcement video, but the announcement was the iconic, like, the still frames, the loading screens.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bunch of those kind of going through.
Yeah.
And which, like, that's a good announcement video. It makes sense for what it is, but yeah, they didn't show gameplay or anything.
Yeah, which I guess that should have been pretty suspect from the start. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and I've been actually playing through the Arkham trilogy or the Arkham remaster, Return to Arkham.
Yeah.
I've gotten all of the achievements in Arkham Asylum, and I have almost gotten all of them in Arkham City. Jesus, those Riddler challenges.
Ooh.
I love the Riddler trophy. Like, that is still some of my favorite roaming activity in any game that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
Are the Riddler trophies, like, scanning things, and because figuring out the riddles of something would, like, a riddle would go on and you'd be like, oh, that's talking about the Mad Hatter, and it's around this location, so you'd be looking around trying to find something that relates to the Mad Hatter. Like, that was some fun stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That just reminds me of how great that some of those games used to be. And another thing that does that is Halo Infinite, because its gameplay for Halo is fantastic.
Oh yeah. So I guess the searing steak is now coming back. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's dive into Halo Infinite. So
gameplay is great. Feels just fantastic. But it also feels like the first thing that they designed in mind is the store.
So yeah, I 100% agree with you. The combat, this actually feels like 343 has finally figured out how to do the classic combat style, which, especially, it's an older style. You know, there's not a lot of games that have that slower, that slower pace, that longer time to kill, and a lot more skill-based gameplay that Halo has. The best way I can describe the combat is they got the classic style and then they added more things on top of it. Like, in my opinion, the meta for Halo Infinite is going to be the most complex meta of all time, of all the Halo games. Just because there are so many moving parts to it with that core gameplay that I honestly do think that it's definitely one of those games where like I've been playing Halo since Combat Evolved, and granted I haven't really been playing them pretty extensively for probably the last 5 or 6 years. It's been really on and off. It kind of feels like I have to relearn how to play Halo a little bit. Doesn't help either that this is the first time I'm really playing a Halo game on PC. So,
are you playing it on PC?
Yeah, I'm playing it on PC. I haven't been able to get my hands on a Series X yet. So it's like,
dude, the Series X has expanded some of the games. Like, quickly, a game that is on Xbox Series X but not on the Xbox One is Hell Let Loose, which has been my drug lately.
Oh yeah, which we'll get to that later. But like, you're bringing up the broccoli. We have a searing steak to bite through first.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's God, the store, the monetization, the progression. It's bad.
So customization has always been a big thing for Halo. Like, being able to show your Spartan off. And in Halo 3 and Halo Reach and some of the other, not others, because there was just 3 in Reach that had this, but you could...
ODST had it to a certain extent as well.
Well, ODST didn't have multiplayer. It had Firefight, but ODST was kind of an expansion of 3.
Okay, you're right.
The customization for multiplayer, like, you could unlock certain outfits by beating things in campaign. Now, albeit, campaign isn't out yet, and we've heard that you can unlock some things. The way that they've already shown customization of how individual pieces are locked behind certain outfits or certain chassis feels like it's like you can get the left arm pad of a outfit and it's only available on this one chassis, not on these other ones that you may be using.
Yeah.
But it's available on this other one if you spend $7
Yeah.
on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is where it dives back to, it feels like the store was the first thing that they had in mind. Because customizations are around that, the challenges, like the way you progress are challenges, and before the community got an uproar about it and they've had to already alter the progression system, it was through challenges and so on.
It still is. And there's still...
Well, you can now get like 300 XP on your first game and then 250 on your second. Like, they've added extra ways to get it.
Yeah.
But, like, you would have to pay real money for challenge swaps.
Yeah.
And challenges were the only way to progress earlier.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not cool.
I definitely...
And then the battle pass itself, like...
Oh, yeah.
75% of it are challenge swaps.
Oh, yeah. Which, so the few things those definitely big things of the customization, progression, and the battle pass. Which, I mean, are all very interconnected with each other. And it's really hard to, like, you can't really talk about one without talking about the other. They are that interconnected with each other. I have the exact same issues that you have, and even more so. Like, one of the biggest things I find is the most egregious thing about this. They have a fully fledged battle pass while the game is in beta. Are you shitting me?
And they've extended the battle pass to May 2022.
Yeah.
Because they had to delay co-op, and they're delaying Forge even further to that.
Yeah.
To which, the game is... So Halo has come out prior with co-op in almost every single one except for Halo 5.
Yeah.
Well, Halo 5 had co-op. It didn't have split screen.
Yep.
Halo Infinite doesn't have co-op at all.
Yeah.
That's the thing that has been
launch.
in Halo since the beginning. Forge isn't coming for a while, and that was another thing that has launched in a lot of them, except for Halo 5. It was delayed.
Which...
this doesn't have... The playlists are very limited.
Yeah.
And I think... people are complaining, like, why is there no Slayer playlist? Why is there no Objective playlist? And, the developers are like, I haven't seen this brought up, but I think the reason is because they don't have any maps. Like, there's only 5 maps, I think.
Ugh,
so if you have a Slayer, a Slayer playlist, people are going to be playing, like, 3 maps only.
Yeah.
The big team battle is quite literally only 3 maps.
Yeah. I think one of the things, to kind of answer the question, I have seen kind of the response on why, and it seems to be is like, look, everything that we've been trying to do, we have been trying to not only, like, we don't want to just include something to tick a mark. Like, oh, we add co-op, whatever. We want it to be the best. We want to implement something at the best it can be to enhance the experience as much as possible. That's why it's like with Forge. Oh yeah, no, we're doing some fucking crazy shit with Forge. Which, if you think about it, that's kind of nuts. Because, like, granted, it took a while to get to this point, but Halo 5's Forge is
Halo 5's Forge is like pretty much like a game engine itself.
Yeah, like, it is considered the best Forge of all time, and they are saying, yeah, we're going to blow that out of the water, and that's going to take time. So it's like, okay, and they have flat out said that. And it was the exact same thing with co-op. It's like, we have plans with co-op, we want to do some stuff like that with co-op, we also need to give it the development time it needs. It seems to be when it comes to the game...
It's been 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, like, and hell, you were there for some of it.
I was there with pre-pro.
Yeah. So it's like, Lord knows how much has changed, and it seems to be a lot has changed. It seems to be that Halo Infinite's development has been pretty rocky and really kind of all over the place. But I do want to go back to the customization, progression, so on and so forth. The fact that, one, you're in beta and you have the audacity to have a fully fledged monetization scheme going on. Really?
Well, I don't think this is a beta. Like,
oh no,
I think
it's not a beta.
It.
No, it's the fact that they are calling it a beta, and they're doing that. Like, no. Say you are releasing the multiplayer. Don't say that this is in beta.
Especially because they've come out and said that on launch day, there's not going to be extra maps or things like that. Like, I was thinking maybe there was 2 or 3 maps that were locked away because they would be spoilery.
Yeah.
But no, it is simply no. There's no other.
Yeah.
maps.
Well,
which makes me think, like, they were going to launch this a year ago. What were they going to launch?
Oh, God. Dude, I was not thinking about it that way, but shit. I don't... God, thank God that they've had over a year at this point.
And they're still delaying things.
Yeah, holy shit.
With 6 years of development already.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but, like, other stuff as well, like, the customization, and I kind of want to tackle this, like, customization, progression, and season passing, kind of, because really the only progression in the game is the season pass. Like, when it comes to the customization, I remember in one of the ads they were saying, like, Halo Infinite, you will be able to, individualize and customize your Spartan to be as unique as ever before. And I don't know if this is because of maybe I'm at low-ranking matchmaking, so I don't get to see a lot of where people, I'm not at a high enough level where I see the people who have the cool shit, or if it's something else or whatnot. Everyone has the same armor. Everyone has the same shit. Like,
yeah.
Like, there is not a lot of...
And the armor coding being, like, tied to...
Yeah.
Like, you can't create your own kind of just way it looks.
Well, and it's, like, the biggest thing that gets me is, yesterday, I tried to get placement in Halo Infinite, and I just couldn't. I couldn't even get through a game, and I'm like, I'm done. I played Destiny, and, like, one of the things that really gets me is, like, are you telling me that, like, the shaders that I have gotten in-game, and I can't break it down to individual... Because they have individual components. Like, you have the right forearm, left forearm, shoulders, right and left shoulder, the legs, chest, helmet. And you're telling me that I can't use these shaders, like in Destiny, and highlight the different components and do it differently? Are you kidding me? Guys, it's 2020, like, Bungie, it's 2021. Like, come on. Like, you're capable of doing that. And, like, one of the biggest issues I have is, like, as far as I'm aware of, there is only one way you can get white armor in the game. And that is buying an armor bundle. So you can't even buy the individual color, or, like, the shader itself. You have to buy the whole armor bundle to get it. And it's like, are you... And that may be for just one of the armor variants. Because there's, like, 3 separate armors. There's, like, the Mark 7, the mythic armor, and then, like, the season armor. It's, like, something like that. They have a weird system. So it's like you almost have, like, 3 separate armors that you can work on. But it's just, like, just to get... So then, like, if I want to make a Arctic camo character... Good.
You have to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, not only do I have to pay for it, I have to buy other armors that I might not want just to get access to it. Are you shitting me?
And then you have to wear those armors because some of the stuff is limited behind.
Yeah. Or, like, if it's, yeah, anyway. Yeah, like, it's bad. And then, so, moving on to, like, progression and, sorry, what were you about to say, buddy?
The campaign comes out in a few days.
Yeah.
And, like, I love that they dropped the multiplayer early. That was an awesome thing.
Yeah, it was a good move, but man,
the honeymoon phase has dipped quickly.
The honeymoon phase lasted a fucking day, and then people saw the battle pass.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how the community will react when campaign comes out.
Yeah.
Because the community,
I mean...
the Halo subreddit was on lockdown for the entire day today because...
Really?
People are upset. They are upsetty spaghetti over there.
Yeah. Well, it's like, from the influencers that I have been following, so, like, I do, like, a Hidden Xperia, Halo, like, Halo Canon, those are, like, one of the big two that I follow. I've heard pretty good reviews about the campaign, which just makes me feel hopeful. Like, the fact that they're really touting it to be pretty good. And the fact that it sounds like you are getting more armor and unlocked for multiplayer in campaign, which is good. But again, yeah, I'm paying $60 for this game. I goddamn better. I better get something. But moving on to the progression.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing this through Game Pass.
Yeah.
People that bought the game that have to buy things in multiplayer too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so the other thing that really has been getting on me personally is the progression system in the season pass. Like, one, the fact that that's the only progression system there is the battle pass. That's it. It is also one of the slowest battle passes I have ever seen.
Oh, it's super slow.
I think Hidden Xperia, when I was watching his video, I think he had grinded at the time of the video, or at the time of he recorded the video, I guess is the proper way to say it. He's been grinding the game for 30 hours, and he had only made it to rank 10. And mind you, he's not buying boosters, he's not doing anything like that. He's literally just doing it by gameplay. And he only, to put that in perspective, I'm comparing it to Destiny, because it's kind of the multiplayer game I've been the most familiar with. The season pass, if I were to do the same amount, so like pretty much every 30 hours you're going to be progressing 10 levels up the battle pass.
In Halo?
Yeah.
Because that's what it was.
Yeah, but like, if I were to do the same in like Destiny and have that same ratio, I would be at and so I've put in about a little over 100 hours into Destiny. So, I would be at probably, like, rank 35 of the Battle Pass. Okay? I am currently at 96 in the Destiny 2 Battle Pass.
Yeah, the math seems around that.
Like, I'm at 96, and if it was going at the same rate that earlier, I would be at, like, fucking 35. Are you kidding me? Like, and especially, like, it used to be, and apparently there are other ways to do it, but even still, like, the idea of, like, you were thinking, like, 350 XP, like, 300 XP for the first match, 250. Cool, that'll maybe get you halfway through a battle pass. Maybe. But then the main way that you are going to get through the battle pass is through those weekly and dailies, which dailies, there are very few and they're not worth that much. Weeklies, like, I've had, I think I had one of my best friends, he got through all the weeklies in about a day and a half worth of playing. So, like, cool, now you can't do shit for pretty much a week. Like, you're not progressing for an entire week now because of that. You know, other than through dailies, but that's at a snail's pace. Like, come on.
The community is blown up on both the progression, customization.
Yeah. Well,
there's just...
Well, as they should. They have, in my opinion, they have every right to do that. Because it's bad. But, Bungie, 343, they let this out early, which is probably a smart move on them. And they're probably going to be changing stuff. And, they've been transparent with us so far. And they've been good at saying, okay, acknowledging what the community wants, and then trying to do changes quickly. They've been pretty good at that. So I'm giving, 343 the benefit of the doubt, but it honestly does feel like that they went with the most egregious monetization scheme first thing, and then just said, and then said, oh, we'll fix it. And as, players are dropping off and stuff like that, then they're doing all these changes because, it saves them, so then they can hopefully retain players better and make more money that way. That's honestly, that's what this feels like.
I mean, that's what games are doing nowadays, is they release a half-baked game and then be like, yeah, we'll fix it later.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there's that, but also it just feels like they went with the most egregious monetization scheme on purpose.
Well, Gears of War 5 went through the same issue, and that's also Microsoft. Did they not learn? Well,
it may be a thing of, and this might be my very anti-capitalist ass talking, but I honestly think I'm at a point where, these companies are ran by too many smart people who give way too much of a shit about data to not know that, fans do not like this. Fans are not happy with this. But they're also probably sitting there going but it also made us a buttload of money. So,
well, because, if...
We don't care. We're gonna continue to do this because it's going to
the store will upset a lot of people, will upset the majority of people, but if you get 5% of the people to spend $20 on something.
Well, and I'm wondering that's what... Because one of the things I've always was curious on, and looking at the monetization, if, in the gaming industry, you have a term called whales. They are where a lot of... This is especially true in the mobile market, but this is also true in just the regular gaming market as well. There are generally a 1% or less of the population that spends exorbitant amount of money on a game. We're talking the hundreds, if not even higher than that. And that's where a lot of games make their money. So even if you have, even if you have 98% of your community not paying a single dime in boycott, well, if you have 2% of your population going, I don't care, I want everything in the battle pass, money, 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 that 98, they're effectively silencing that 98% of the population because they're providing enough money. I am wondering, though, with the current monetization scheme, if they are trying to shift that away from whales and more trying to do of, do you know what? Most people are going to spend maybe $20 on the game. They may buy the battle pass every year, and they may buy, they see a skin that they really like or whatever, and they buy a $5 to $10 skin, and so then, but if 20 to 30% of the population does that, well, that gets us even more money than if we just had whales. So I'm wondering if they're also trying to do a monetization scheme like that, but even still, this is still pretty bad. Honestly, this is mobile game levels of bad.
Well, Battlefield 2042 has also, a thing with Battlefield was you're a grunt. You're just a person, kind of, just in the fight. And now they've added the specialists because specialists are popular in other games.
Mm-hmm.
But what made Battlefield popular was that it didn't feel like Call of Duty or these other games, and that's what they've pushed it towards.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, Battlefield has always been... It's always had its very unique flavoring, and I've noticed that there are some games that, like... And Halo had this problem with, like, Halo 5, of... It tried to be like Advanced Warfare. Like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and it didn't work. Like, if your game has a signature playstyle, or signature things that it is known for, you have to play to those strengths, and you have to make them unique and separate them out. Because like, doing a clone of another game isn't going to work. It just won't.
Yeah.
So, all right. Do we want?
And I was so excited for Halo because, I mean, the new Call of Duty came out. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like that game just came and went.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield. I was so excited. I love Battlefield 4. I still play Battlefield 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it still has some populated servers. It is a fun game. And I was so excited with Battlefield 2042 because it really seemed like with the advertisement, the trailers, everything like that, that it was going back to kind of like Battlefield Bad Company 2 or Battlefield 4, things like that after Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5.
Mm-hmm.
The specialists just have done it in.
Yeah. I mean, like, there is a point where it's like, okay, trying to innovate your game, I mean, you have to innovate your games. You have to. You know, like I was saying kind of with Halo Infinite. Sure, Halo Infinite has finally mastered how to do a good classic combat style, but they've had to add stuff on top of it, because that's how you stay relevant in the gaming sphere. So, I mean... But at the same time, just trying to copy and paste what other games did, like Rainbow Six, Overwatch, and stuff like that, that's not going to work out for you. And I don't see it working out for Battlefield. I really don't.
But the disappointment in Battlefield, though, made me get into a game called Hell Let Loose. So Hell Let Loose is this game... It's this World War II simulator, in a sense. Or like a PTSD simulator. It is one shot will kill you. 1 or 2 shots, maybe 3 or 4, depending on the caliber. But it is 50 versus 50, and you'll be trying to take a point, and you're in a, you're hiding behind a bush, hoping for some cover, and there's bullets whizzing by you, just knowing that one stray bullet can do you in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, there's multiple roles that you can pick.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a medic, a support, officer, infantry, anti-tank. There's all these different roles, and there's one medic per group, one anti-tank per group. So you aren't going to have a bunch of people spamming as one particular class.
Thank God for that.
People communicate. The game relies heavily on communication.
Oh yeah, you
There's
would
proximity
have to.
Chat. There are times where commanders are dropping in Rolling Thunder, and it's absolutely terrifying as these explosions are just getting closer and closer, and you're just trying to run away, just praying that you get outside a blast radius, but you're never outside the blast radius.
Yeah. No, so Tucker sent me a video of the Rolling Thunder, and oh my god, it is legitimately terrifying. I would be screaming bloody murder, just ironically enough in the video. It definitely looks interesting. I kind of want to look into it a little bit more, because I know there have been a few video games who have tried to do the, like, realistic simulator, and it can be pretty hard to be able to pull something like that off, but...
Well, so, right now... So, another thing, too, with World War II games is the maps are typically Western Front type of things. Yeah. On the Xbox version of this game, or well, also PlayStation 5, it only has the Western Front,
mm-hmm.
but on PC, it has the Eastern Front, and they are also adding an African front.
Okay.
But, like, something that they've added with the Eastern Front are Katyushas? Katyusha? I don't know what those are, or the way to say it, but they're the trucks that have, like, a dozen rockets on them.
Oh, the cartouche.
And,
yeah. That's a cartouche.
And there's gameplay of that, and this game, you have minimal to no HUD at all,
mm-hmm.
and then there are these rockets in this spraying order just flying around you. The game is intense.
Jeez,
it is great, and that game just makes me feel happy gaming.
Oh yeah.
And I also played a little game called Townscaper.
Oh nice. Was that one good?
It was just added to Game Pass on Xbox. It's 400 megabytes. It's a tiny, tiny little game.
Mm-hmm.
You just place these little blocks in colors of buildings, and they'll connect to each other, and depending on like how you stack them up and how you build it around, it'll just build like a little town or stuff like that. I got 1,000 gamer score, got like all the achievements in 20 minutes in it. It was very quick, but
nice.
It's a very easy, relaxing game. I don't know, it's nice.
Okay, nice. Very nice. Alright,
There's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's head off on... Now that we...
There's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which comes out next week. I got tickets for that.
Oh, fuck you. Damn it, I still need to... Yeah, I need to figure out if I'm gonna try to go see it or not. Granted, then I'm gonna need to catch up on all the other Marvel shenaniganry.
I've been watching
the
Sam Raimi trilogy, and I'm about to watch Amazing Spider-Man next week with some of my friends. Like, we're catching up on all of those.
Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like the advertising has mostly been like, we're gonna release a trailer and do like these purposeful thing. Like, they've done some like purposeful bullshit that like fans know that they'll pick up on. Like a prime example of that is like the shot of like in one of the posters they obviously put like Green Goblin in the background and haven't announced that he's in it, so it's like, you know, hoping that people would notice. But like people are gonna fucking notice that. The second one is like that scene where it's like
Tom Holland talking about, tickets are on sale, and I got 2 people here to help me advertise it, and like Zendaya and whoever plays his friend come out, and they're like, "Oh, what? Were you expecting 2 other people?" It's like,
"Oh yeah,
yes." Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield.
Oh yeah. Which who else? But like the scene where it's like they're in the trailers where it's like everyone's on the scaffolding and it's this big wide shot of like Spider-Man like charging at like Sandman and Electro and all that, and like the thing I love about that is the fact that if you look in like the corner, you can just see the Lizard is the other character who's like jumping, and you can see the Lizard just get fucking clocked, but there's like nothing
that
there.
Was
and it's like
in the Brazil trailer.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If it was any other studio, you know what I would think? Like, okay, that's an editing error. They fucked up. Marvel?
You think that was on purpose?
Oh, 100. Marvel.
Because that was only in the Brazilian trailer.
No, that was a 100% purposeful leak. 100%.
That's wild. That's some tinfoil stuff right there.
It's really... Is it? Like...
Because it wasn't in, like...
Marvel has become the master of trailers and marketing. They know how to hype fans up better than any others out there. Like, they have purposely added things in just to throw people off their game. Or to purposely throw them off. And, like, is it really hard to believe that, like, if they're really trying to be coy about this whole, like, oh, there are multiple Spider-Man, and, you know, what better way than, oh, let's release a trailer in Brazil and have this very, like, come on, that is such a easy editing error that they made, that it's like, they didn't catch that? Seriously? That was on purpose. And also, if you, I've seen a few things about how just, like, Marvel is stupidly targeted about how they do stuff. Like, for example, they'll know, like, okay, this line is going to be memed to death. We're going to get a focus group. We're going to do, like, 30 variations on that line and see which one gets the best reaction. And that line is going to be the one that's in the film. Like, they do shit like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it really that hard to believe that they left it out? Oh no, we forgot to do this, knowing that fans were going to, like, get more and more hyped that, oh shit, this confirms, oh, they messed up. That means that, you know, we're going to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Oh, this confirms, like, yeah, no. They're being cold. Yeah, they know that fans are going to react that way. So, I honestly think it was done on purpose.
Oh, I'm excited because it's so soon. And then, like, hopefully the Halo campaign will be good. That could tide me over until the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And I've been watching Hawkeye. That's been great.
Yeah.
Has a dog in it as one of the main characters. A dog.
Oh.
He has one eye. His name's Lucky the Pizza Dog.
Now I want pizza. God damn it.
You should have that while watching Hawkeye.
Do you know what? That doesn't sound like the worst plan in the world. But I probably have a podcast edit. So shit. Anyway.
Yep.
So, do we want to call it here?
Sure.
All right. Well, I think we've talked about enough positive stuff to hopefully to offset the negative stuff that we just bitched about for like an hour. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been a fun episode. It was nice actually to hear Tucker's sweet, sweet voice again. So,
Whoop, whoop.
Anyway, if you guys would like to come talk to us and hang out with us a little bit more often, we do have a Discord channel. Also, there's just so many awesome people there, especially if you play a lot of Destiny and stuff like that. We're pretty active on Destiny and we're trying to get stuff together. Don't expect professionals. We are a motley crew of miscreants, so, like, just have that expectation going in and you're fine. But anyway, I'm Scott from BioWare Babbling. This is Tucker from Talking About Games, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.